Imagine this: you wake up in the morning. Maybe you didn't sleep as soundly as you wanted. Maybe your belly feels heavy or tight. Or perhaps you feel like yesterday's meal is still lingering inside you. You walk into the kitchen, pour yourself a glass of water, sip your coffee, and already the thought crosses your mind: why does my stomach always feel like this? For so many people over 60, digestion becomes the silent thief of comfort. Gas, bloating, sluggish bowels, acid creeping up after meals. It all becomes so common that many begin to believe it's simply part of getting older. But what if I told you there's a small, simple daily habit, one that takes no more than a few minutes, that can naturally restore balance to your digestion and help you reclaim the light, energized feeling you thought was gone forever? Your digestive system is not broken, it's simply slowed down and asking for a little help. Think of it like a garden. When you were younger, the soil was rich, the rain fell regularly, the sun shone brightly, and everything grew with ease. But now, the soil has dried a little, weeds have crept in, and the roots don't absorb water as well as they once did. Does that mean the garden is lost? Not at all. It just needs daily care and a simple routine to bring it back to life. And that's exactly what this habit can do for you. Let's begin with something incredibly overlooked: the act of starting your day with warm water and lemon. Not cold water from the fridge, not juice from a carton, but a simple glass of warm water with a squeeze of fresh lemon. Why does this matter? Because warm water gently wakes up your digestive system the way sunlight wakes up your body. It signals your intestines to move, it hydrates the lining of your gut, and it flushes away the sluggish waste that builds overnight. Lemon adds a gentle acidity that mimics your stomach's natural acid, giving it the extra support it needs to break down food more efficiently. This one step alone can ease constipation, reduce bloating, and improve nutrient absorption. And here's the beauty: you're not adding a pill, not chasing some expensive supplement. You're simply giving your body what it already recognizes as natural support. But let's go further, because digestion isn't just about what you put in, it's also about how your body processes it. Imagine rushing through a meal, chewing quickly, swallowing in large bites. Your stomach has to work twice as hard, releasing more acid, struggling to break food down into usable pieces. Now picture slowing down, chewing slowly, savoring each bite. What you're doing is already beginning digestion in your mouth, where enzymes in your saliva break down starches and prepare your stomach for what's coming. That's why the simple daily habit isn't only about what you drink in the morning, but how you approach food throughout the day. Chewing with intention, 30 chews per bite, is like giving your digestive system a head start, saving it energy, and sparing you the discomfort that comes from undigested chunks moving through your intestines. Now, here's another layer. Every single day, millions of bacteria in your gut go to work. They are your little helpers, breaking down fiber, producing vitamins, calming inflammation, and keeping harmful bacteria in check. But as you age, this army weakens if you don't feed it. That's why adding just a small serving of fermented food, yogurt with live cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, or even miso, becomes a game changer. Just a spoonful or two a day replenishes your gut with allies who do the heavy lifting for you. These foods don't just relieve constipation or bloating. They build resilience in your gut, reducing your risk of infection, strengthening your immune system, and even supporting mental clarity, because your gut and brain are in constant conversation. Imagine the difference between an empty town with broken down workers and a lively community where every worker is doing their job. Your gut thrives when you nourish this community. But even if you drink warm lemon water, chew slowly, and add probiotics, there's still something most seniors forget: movement. And I don't mean exercise in the intimidating sense. I mean the simple habit of walking, stretching, or gentle yoga for 10 to 15 minutes after a meal. When you sit still, your digestive system slows down. But when you move, your intestines get a natural massage from the muscles of your abdomen and diaphragm. This wave-like motion, called peristalsis, is what pushes food along, preventing gas and constipation from building up. So one of the simplest daily habits you can create is this: after finishing your meal, take a walk around the block, do some light stretches, or simply stand and sway your body. Your gut will thank you. Here's where most people go wrong. They assume digestion is something that happens without their participation. But the truth is you play an active role. Stress, rushing, negative emotions, all of these can shut down your digestive system because your body cannot be in fight or flight mode and rest and digest mode at the same time. That's why a simple daily breathing habit can transform digestion. Before each meal, pause, place your hand on your belly and take 5 slow breaths. Inhale through your nose, feel your belly rise, exhale slowly through your mouth. What this does is activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the branch of your body that tells your gut it's safe now, you can do your job. In that moment, your body produces more digestive enzymes, your blood flows toward your stomach instead of your muscles, and your food is digested more efficiently with less gas and bloating. So imagine putting all of this together into one simple morning and mealtime routine. You start your day with warm lemon water. You chew your food with care, savoring every bite. You add a spoonful of fermented food to your plate. You walk gently after eating. And you breathe slowly before meals to invite calm into your body. None of these require a doctor's prescription. None of these drain your wallet. None of these are complicated. But together, they form a powerful chain that strengthens your digestion naturally day by day. Until you notice the heaviness in your stomach has lifted, the irregularity is gone, and your energy feels renewed. The truth is, your body has always wanted to heal. It has always been whispering the solutions to you through discomfort, trying to nudge you toward change. That morning heaviness, that bloating after meals, that sluggish bowel movement, they're not random, they're signals. And now you know how to respond with kindness and consistency, with simple habits that restore balance. And this is just the beginning, because while we've uncovered the power of daily choices like water, breathing, chewing, and gentle movement, there are also specific foods that either heal or harm your digestion, especially after 60. In the next part, I'll reveal which foods to avoid if you want your gut to stay calm and which foods act like medicine for your intestines, bringing you relief and lightness in ways you may not have felt in years. So don't go anywhere. What I'm about to share could change the way you feel every single day. Think for a moment about the meals you've had in the past week. Perhaps there was a plate of pasta with a creamy sauce, maybe a slice or two of white bread with butter, maybe a quick snack of packaged cookies or crackers because it was easy and familiar. In the moment, those foods feel comforting. They bring back memories of family dinners, of quick fixes that have been part of your routine for years. But what happens afterward? That feeling of fullness that never seems to ease, the tightness in your belly, the gurgling sounds that make you shift uncomfortably in your chair. These are not just random annoyances. They are your body's way of speaking to you, telling you that what once worked when you were 40 or 50 may no longer serve you now that you are over 60. The truth is, the digestive system changes with age, and the very foods you thought were harmless are often the ones stirring up gas, bloating, and constipation. One of the biggest culprits is refined carbohydrates. White bread, pastries, sugary cereals, foods that were once easy to digest now act like a sticky paste inside your intestines. They move slowly, offering no fiber to push them along, and as they linger, they ferment and produce gas. That's why so many seniors feel that uncomfortable, bloated belly after eating them. But here's the good news. The fix doesn't mean giving up comfort foods forever. It means finding better versions of them. Instead of white bread, a slice of whole grain sourdough provides both fiber and friendly bacteria. Instead of sugary cereals, oats topped with a handful of berries offer sweetness, bulk, and a soothing effect on your gut. With small swaps, you keep the joy of eating, but trade the discomfort for lightness. Another hidden trigger comes from dairy. Maybe you've noticed that milk in your coffee leaves you with cramps, or that a bowl of ice cream at night results in tossing and turning because of indigestion. As we age, the enzyme lactase, which helps digest lactose in milk, decreases significantly. That means milk, ice cream, and soft cheeses become more like irritants than treats. But that doesn't mean you have to give them up entirely. Many seniors find that switching to almond, oat, or coconut milk makes all the difference. Yogurt with live cultures is another option, as the probiotics inside actually help break down the lactose. And aged cheeses like Parmesan or cheddar in small amounts often bring satisfaction without the side effects. It's not about deprivation, it's about choosing foods that love your gut back. Fats also play a role. Not all fats are harmful, but greasy fried foods can slow digestion dramatically. Imagine your digestive system as a highway. Light, clean foods move smoothly along, but heavy fried foods are like trucks that break down in the middle of the road, blocking everything else behind them. That's why after eating fried chicken, fries, or heavily processed meats, so many people feel sluggish, bloated, and constipated. But when you choose healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, these not only move more easily, but actually nourish your gut lining, reduce inflammation, and keep things flowing steadily. Artificial sweeteners are another trap many seniors fall into. Thinking they're making a healthier choice by avoiding sugar, they turn to sugar-free gum, diet sodas, or sugar-free candies. But the artificial compounds inside them are poorly absorbed, meaning they sit in the gut and become food for the wrong bacteria, producing gas and cramping. That's why even one stick of sugar-free gum can lead to an afternoon of discomfort. A small drizzle of raw honey, a piece of ripe fruit, or even a bit of dark chocolate offers sweetness in a way your body understands and can process without protest. Constipation, too, often comes from something so simple yet overlooked: lack of fiber. Fiber is the broom of the digestive system, sweeping waste along and keeping things moving. Without it, stools harden, movement slows, and each trip to the bathroom becomes more of a strain. But by adding beans, lentils, leafy greens, and fruits like pears and apples, you give your body the tools it needs to restore regularity. And when fiber is paired with enough water, magic happens. Suddenly the heaviness lifts, the bathroom becomes less of a struggle, and your belly feels lighter. Let's not forget about portion sizes. As metabolism slows with age, the same large meals you once ate without issue now sit heavily in your stomach. Eating until you're stuffed puts pressure on your digestive system, forcing it to work harder than it should. The simple daily habit of eating smaller, more frequent meals is a quiet revolution for your gut. Instead of 3 heavy meals, try 4 or 5 lighter ones. Each one is easier to digest, giving your system the chance to work smoothly without being overloaded. You'll find that not only does bloating decrease, but energy remains steadier throughout the day. Stress is another silent player in digestion. Think about the last time you were upset, worried, or tense. Did you notice your stomach tightening, your appetite vanishing, or the opposite, your belly rumbling uncontrollably? That's no coincidence. The gut and the brain are connected through a powerful network of nerves. When stress hormones rise, digestion slows, blood is diverted away from your stomach, and food sits longer than it should. That's why even healthy meals can leave you bloated when you're stressed. A simple habit of taking deep breaths before eating or pausing for a short walk after a difficult phone call resets the nervous system and allows digestion to flow. And then there's sleep. Poor sleep doesn't just leave you tired, it throws your entire digestive rhythm off. When you don't get enough rest, hormones that control hunger and digestion become unbalanced, and your gut may move too slowly or too quickly. By creating a nightly ritual, dim lights, no screens, maybe a cup of chamomile tea, you encourage not just better rest, but also smoother digestion. In the morning, your stomach feels calmer, your bowels more regular, and your body ready to absorb nutrients instead of fighting them. All of these adjustments are not overwhelming when taken one by one. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. It begins with a single daily habit, whether that's swapping your morning milk for a gentler alternative, taking 5 breaths before each meal, or walking for 15 minutes after dinner. Each habit builds on the next, creating a foundation where your digestion can thrive naturally. Now picture what happens after a few weeks of consistency. That constant bloated feeling, it eases. Trips to the bathroom become smoother and more regular. Meals feel satisfying instead of heavy. Energy rises as your body finally extracts nutrients more efficiently. This is what happens when you align your choices with the natural rhythm of your body instead of fighting against it. And yet, this is only the beginning. Because once your digestion starts to heal, something incredible happens. Your mood lifts, your memory sharpens, even your joints and skin begin to reflect the harmony inside. That's the hidden connection many seniors don't realize. The gut is the foundation of not just digestion, but overall vitality. And in the next section, we'll uncover how certain surprising foods, often overlooked or misunderstood, act like medicine for your gut, and how adding them daily can unlock a level of energy and comfort you may not have felt in years. Don't miss this part, because these are the foods that could turn your digestion from a constant struggle into a steady source of health and strength. Think for a moment about how often you've walked past the produce aisle in the grocery store and glanced at foods that seem too simple to make a difference. A bunch of leafy greens, a carton of berries, a small jar of sauerkraut tucked away on the bottom shelf. Easy to overlook because they don't scream miracle cure the way flashy supplements or fancy powders do. But the truth is, these unassuming foods are some of the most powerful allies your digestive system could ever have, especially after 60, when your body craves simplicity, nourishment, and balance more than anything. These are the kinds of foods that whisper health instead of shout it, and yet their impact is deep, lasting, and undeniable. Let's begin with fermented foods, because for so many seniors, the missing link in digestion comes down to gut bacteria. Imagine your gut as a garden. Over the years, processed foods, antibiotics, stress, and even just aging itself strip away the rich diversity of that garden. Instead of blooming with different flowers, it becomes barren with weeds taking over. That's when you start to feel the gas, the bloating, the sluggish bowels. Fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, and miso are like planting fresh seeds into that soil. They reintroduce living bacteria, the kind that break down fibers, reduce inflammation, and produce compounds your body needs to thrive. Just a few forkfuls of sauerkraut alongside lunch or a small glass of kefir in the morning can begin to shift the balance. And what's remarkable is how quickly the gut responds. Within days, digestion feels lighter, movements more regular, energy more stable. Then there's fiber from plant foods, not the kind you get from a pill or powder, but the kind that exists naturally inside apples, pears, beans, lentils, and leafy greens. These fibers act like scaffolding for your gut bacteria, feeding the good strains and starving out the ones that produce gas and toxins. When you eat a crisp apple, you're not just enjoying the sweetness, you're also delivering pectin, a soluble fiber that soothes the gut and slows down digestion so nutrients can be absorbed more evenly. When you eat beans or lentils, you're giving your body resistant starch, which fuels good bacteria deeper in the colon. The effect is subtle at first, but over weeks, the changes compound until you notice less cramping, smoother stools, and even less inflammation in your joints and skin. Ginger deserves a special mention. This simple root, often grated into tea or added to a stir fry, is like a gentle massage for the digestive system. It reduces bloating by relaxing the muscles around the stomach, allowing food to move more easily. It stimulates digestive juices, so instead of food sitting heavily, it begins to break down more efficiently. And it eases nausea, which is why so many seniors find that a small cup of ginger tea after meals feels like the body's sigh of relief. Turmeric, too, plays a role here. Though often thought of for joints, turmeric also calms inflammation in the gut lining, which is often the root of acid reflux, heartburn, or chronic bloating. A sprinkle in your soup or a warm turmeric latte at night can become a quiet ritual of healing. Water is so simple we almost forget it. But proper hydration is the oil that keeps the digestive engine running. Without enough water, stools become hard, the intestines dry out, and movement slows to a crawl. Many seniors mistake thirst for hunger and end up snacking when all the body wanted was fluid. A tall glass of water in the morning is like opening the floodgates for your digestion. It wakes up the intestines, softens waste, and sets the tone for the day. Adding a squeeze of lemon doesn't just make it taste better. It adds a touch of acidity that stimulates the stomach to prepare for the food that will follow. That one habit alone, morning hydration, can change the rhythm of digestion more than almost anything else. Seeds are another overlooked hero. Flax seeds, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, all small but mighty. When soaked overnight, chia seeds form a gel-like texture that coats the stomach and intestines, easing movement and reducing irritation. Flax seeds ground fresh provide lignans and omega-3 fats that calm inflammation while adding fiber that keeps everything flowing. Pumpkin seeds not only add crunch, but also provide magnesium, a mineral that relaxes intestinal muscles and prevents cramping. Imagine sprinkling just a spoonful of seeds onto your morning oats or blending them into a smoothie. That little habit builds over time until constipation is no longer a daily battle, but a distant memory. Herbal teas deserve their own spotlight too. Chamomile soothes not just the mind, but also the digestive tract, calming spasms and easing discomfort. Peppermint tea relaxes the smooth muscles in the intestines, allowing gas to pass and bloating to subside. Fennel tea helps reduce that heavy, overfull feeling after meals. Instead of reaching for another coffee that overstimulates your gut, making reflux or cramping worse, a warm cup of herbal tea becomes a tool for balance. And the ritual of slowing down, holding a warm cup, breathing in the aroma. This alone relaxes the nervous system and helps digestion flow more naturally. One food that surprises many people is papaya. This tropical fruit contains papain, a natural enzyme that helps break down proteins. For seniors who find that meats or heavier proteins now sit uncomfortably in the stomach, a small serving of papaya can be the difference between discomfort and ease. Pineapple, with its bromelain content, offers a similar benefit. These fruits, eaten fresh, are not just sweet indulgences, but natural digestive aids that have been used in traditional cultures for centuries. Yogurt, kefir, and other probiotic-rich foods, when chosen carefully, can completely shift the gut environment. But it's important to choose the unsweetened versions because added sugars feed the very bacteria you're trying to reduce. A spoonful of plain yogurt with berries or a splash of kefir in your smoothie introduces trillions of beneficial bacteria into your gut daily. Over time, these bacteria work with your body to reduce constipation, ease bloating, and even improve immunity. Even something as humble as walking ties into digestion more than most people realize. A short walk after meals helps food move more efficiently through the stomach and intestines. It stimulates the muscles that push food along, reducing the chance of reflux, bloating, and sluggish bowels. Seniors who adopt the daily habit of walking after meals often find their digestion transforms without any complicated diets or supplements. The body is designed to move, and movement is one of the simplest medicines for the gut. Olive oil is another subtle but powerful ally. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil on vegetables or salads does more than add flavor. It coats the intestines, reducing inflammation and easing bowel movements. Unlike heavy cooking oils, olive oil supports a healthy gut environment, promoting smoother digestion without strain. Pairing it with vegetables rich in fiber creates a synergy where food moves easily, nutrients are absorbed, and discomfort fades. All of these foods and habits may seem simple, almost too simple. But the truth is, health after 60 doesn't come from extremes. It comes from consistency, from small daily rituals that compound over time. A glass of water with lemon in the morning, a handful of leafy greens at lunch, a spoonful of sauerkraut with dinner, a short walk afterward, and a calming herbal tea at night. Each action is like laying another brick in the foundation of your digestive health. By the end of a week, you feel a little lighter. By the end of a month, you notice less bloating, more regularity, and more energy. By the end of 3 months, you realize digestion has gone from being a daily burden to a steady, quiet strength you don't even have to think about anymore. And perhaps the most beautiful part is how this transformation doesn't just stay in the gut. Because once digestion improves, everything else follows. Sleep deepens. The brain feels clearer. Energy for walking, gardening, and connecting with loved ones returns. Even the skin begins to glow with vitality because the body is no longer weighed down by toxins and sluggishness. It's not about finding a miracle cure. It's about weaving small, healing habits into your days until your body learns to work with you instead of against you. This is the gift of aligning with nature, of trusting foods and habits that have stood the test of time. And when you look back weeks or months later, you realize that this one simple daily habit, choosing foods and actions that nurture your gut, has given you something priceless: comfort, freedom, and the ability to live each day without the heavy distraction of digestive pain. And in the next part, We will go even deeper into how the gut connects to your immune system, your mind, and your longevity, and why fixing digestion naturally may be the most important decision you ever make for the years ahead. When we think about digestion, it's easy to believe that it begins and ends in the stomach, but the truth is digestion is a whole body process deeply connected to your mind, your immune system, your circulation, and even your mood. That is why so many seniors notice that when their digestion is off, everything else feels off too. Yeah. You might wake up groggy, find it hard to focus, feel easily irritated, or notice your joints aching more than usual. It's not a coincidence. The gut is often called the second brain, and for good reason. It is home to trillions of bacteria that constantly communicate with your nervous system. When these bacteria are balanced, they send signals of calm, balance, and energy. When they are out of balance, they send signals of stress, inflammation, and fatigue. This is why fixing digestion naturally can become the foundation of overall health after 60. Consider how much of your immune system lives in your gut. Every time you eat, your gut decides whether what you've consumed is safe or dangerous. If your digestion is sluggish or inflamed, the gut becomes more likely to mistake harmless food particles for threats, triggering immune responses that create inflammation throughout the body. This is one of the hidden reasons seniors often feel chronic aches, stiffness, or fatigue. By calming and nourishing digestion, you're not only easing your stomach, you're lowering the burden on your immune system, freeing up energy that can be used to heal, repair, and restore. Think of your immune system like a security guard. If it spends all day chasing false alarms in your gut, it's too distracted to focus on real threats. But once digestion is balanced, the guard relaxes and becomes more effective at keeping out genuine dangers. The connection to the brain is just as profound. The gut produces neurotransmitters like serotonin, often called the feel-good hormone. In fact, most of the serotonin in your body doesn't come from the brain, but from your gut. When digestion is poor and bacteria are imbalanced, serotonin production slows down. That can leave you feeling anxious, down, or restless. On the other hand, when the gut is thriving, serotonin flows, helping to regulate sleep, stabilize mood, and sharpen focus. Many seniors assume that low mood or restless nights are just part of aging, but often it's a silent cry from the gut, asking for better care, asking for foods that heal rather than harm. Another overlooked piece is circulation. When digestion is poor, the blood is burdened with waste products, toxins, and byproducts of incomplete digestion. This sluggish circulation can make you feel heavy, tired, and foggy. But when digestion improves, blood flows more freely, carrying oxygen and nutrients to every cell. That's when you notice your skin looking clearer, your energy lasting longer, and even your ability to recover from small injuries or colds improving. It's a ripple effect starting with the gut, but touching every corner of your health. Think too about longevity. Studies on centenarians, those who live past 100, often find that these individuals don't rely on complicated diets or expensive supplements. Instead, they tend to eat simple, whole foods, often rich in fiber, fermented vegetables, and plenty of hydration. They maintain small, consistent habits that keep their digestion flowing, which in turn keeps inflammation low and energy steady. They aren't chasing miracle cures. They are living proof that small, daily practices, like eating vegetables with every meal, sipping herbal teas, or taking a gentle walk after eating, are what carry the body gracefully into older years. Aging brings changes to the digestive tract that can't be ignored. The muscles that push food through the intestines slow down. Stomach acid, essential for breaking down food, decreases. The liver and pancreas may produce fewer enzymes, making it harder to digest fats and proteins. This is why seniors often feel heavier after meals that once felt easy in younger years. But instead of fighting against these changes with harsh medications or restrictive diets, you can work with your body by giving it what it naturally needs. Foods rich in enzymes like papaya and pineapple lend a helping hand. Bitter greens like arugula or dandelion stimulate natural digestive juices. Warm, lightly cooked meals are often easier to process than heavy, fried, or raw foods. It's about tuning into the body's whispers instead of ignoring them until they become screams. Stress is another factor that deserves attention. Many seniors live with worries about health, family finances, or the uncertainty of the future. The body doesn't separate mental stress from physical digestion. When you are tense, your body diverts blood away from the stomach and intestines, slowing down digestion. Food sits longer, causing bloating, reflux, and discomfort. Learning to eat in a relaxed state can be transformative. Simple practices like taking a few deep breaths before meals, chewing slowly, or listening to calming music while you eat can shift the body into what's called the rest and digest state, where digestion flows smoothly. It may sound too simple, but these small rituals tell the body you are safe. You can focus on nourishment now. It's also important to remember the role of rhythm. The digestive system thrives on regularity. Eating meals at consistent times trains your gut to produce enzymes and stomach acid on schedule, making digestion smoother. Going to bed and waking up at similar times strengthens your body's natural circadian rhythm, which also influences digestion. Seniors who graze all day or eat large, irregular meals often struggle with discomfort, while those who keep a gentle rhythm find their digestion becomes more predictable and comfortable. Your body also remembers how you treat it over time. Decades of processed foods, skipped meals, late night eating, or fast eating may have created patterns that now show up as discomfort. But the beauty of the human body is that it's never too late to change. The gut is constantly renewing itself, with cells regenerating in a matter of days and bacteria populations shifting within weeks. That means even if you've struggled with digestion for years, small daily adjustments can create noticeable changes in a short period. Imagine the relief of waking up one morning realizing that constipation is no longer a daily frustration, or that bloating after dinner has disappeared. These are not distant dreams. They are within reach once you choose to nourish your gut consistently. Food is medicine, but it's also memory. When you sit down to eat, it isn't just about nutrients, it's about connection, comfort, and experience. Many seniors grew up in a time when meals were prepared slowly, shared with family, and made from scratch. Returning to this way of eating can rekindle not just digestive health, but emotional well-being. Cooking at home, even if it's something simple like a pot of soup or roasted vegetables, gives you control over ingredients and ensures that what you eat is truly supporting your body. Eating with others, sharing conversation, and taking time to enjoy food also improve digestion because the body relaxes when it feels connected and safe. All of this leads back to one simple truth. Fixing digestion naturally isn't about adding complexity to your life. It's about stripping away what doesn't serve you and returning to habits that honor your body. Drink water before you feel thirsty. Eat foods that are alive with enzymes and fiber. Move your body gently after meals. Calm your mind before eating. Create rhythms your body can rely on. These are not grand, dramatic gestures, but quiet acts of self-respect. And as you commit to these habits, you'll notice how your digestion no longer feels like a burden to manage, but becomes a source of strength that ripples into every area of your health. You'll realize that energy you thought was gone forever has returned, that clarity of mind you missed is within reach, and that comfort in your own body is not too much to ask for. It's your birthright. The gut, when cared for, is not just an organ of digestion, but a gateway to vitality, peace, and longevity. Imagine beginning your day not with worry or discomfort, but with a quiet sense of ease, knowing your body is working with you instead of against you. The truth is, most people underestimate the power of small, consistent rituals. When it comes to digestion, one simple daily habit, practiced with intention, can ripple through every aspect of your health, leaving you lighter, calmer, and stronger than you've felt in years. Seniors often believe they need to make dramatic, overwhelming changes, but in reality, the body thrives on gentle consistency. That is why one carefully chosen habit, repeated each morning or evening, can do more for your digestion than an entire shelf of pills. Think about how your gut responds when you first wake up. Overnight, your body has been repairing, cleansing, and resting. Toxins and waste products have built up, your stomach is empty, and your intestines are waiting for a signal to wake up and start moving again. What you do in the first 30 minutes of your day sends the signal. If you reach for coffee immediately, your system is jolted awake, but not gently. It's like slamming on the gas pedal of a car that hasn't warmed up. But if you begin with something warm, soothing, and natural, you're telling your gut, it's time to start the day in harmony. Warm lemon water, for example, is one of the simplest yet most powerful habits. It hydrates after hours of sleep, stimulates the production of stomach acid and bile, and gently nudges the intestines to begin moving. Seniors who adopt this practice often notice constipation easing, bloating reducing, and digestion becoming smoother within weeks. But hydration isn't just about water, it's about timing and consistency. Your digestive system is like a river. When water flows steadily, waste and nutrients move along easily. When the river dries up, everything slows and stagnates. Many seniors sip too little throughout the day, either because they don't feel thirsty or because they're afraid of frequent trips to the bathroom. Yet mild dehydration is one of the most common causes of sluggish digestion. Creating a daily habit of drinking a full glass of water first thing in the morning and then sipping small amounts regularly throughout the day transforms this river back into a steady current. And here's the secret: sipping is better than gulping. Large amounts all at once can overwhelm the system. But steady hydration keeps everything balanced. Another overlooked daily habit is mindful eating. Not what you eat, but how you eat. Chewing is the first step of digestion, yet many rush through it. Seniors often underestimate how powerful thorough chewing can be. Saliva contains enzymes that break down starches, preparing food for the stomach. When chewing is rushed, the stomach is left to do extra work, leading to bloating and indigestion. Making it a daily ritual to sit, slow down, and chew until food is soft not only improves digestion, but also enhances the pleasure of eating. This one small shift can mean the difference between a heavy, uncomfortable belly and a smooth, energized afternoon. Movement is another key piece, and the beauty is you don't need strenuous exercise. Just a few minutes of walking after a meal, especially lunch or dinner, can make a world of difference. The gentle motion helps food move through the intestines, reduces gas buildup, and stabilizes blood sugar levels. Seniors who make post-meal walks a daily habit often find they sleep better, feel lighter, and experience less bloating. The walk doesn't need to be fast or long. 10 to 15 minutes is enough. The key is consistency. Each time you move, you're reminding your body of the natural rhythm it craves. Breathing is another habit that seems too simple to matter, yet it directly impacts digestion. When stress is high, the body shifts into fight or flight mode, pulling blood away from the gut. Food then sits heavy in the stomach, undigested. Making a habit of deep breathing before meals transforms the state of the nervous system. Just 3 to 5 slow, deep breaths can flip the switch into rest and digest mode, where the gut is ready to work smoothly. This small act becomes a signal to your body that mealtime is safe, calm, and nourishing. Imagine if every senior began meals not with tension but with peace. Digestion across generations would improve almost instantly. Now consider the daily habit of including fiber-rich foods. Fiber is the broom of the digestive system, sweeping waste along and keeping things moving. Many seniors eat too little of it, fearing discomfort, but the key is the right type of fiber, introduced gradually. Soluble fiber, found in foods like oats, apples, and carrots, absorbs water and forms a soothing gel that eases bowel movements. Insoluble fiber, found in whole grains and vegetables, adds bulk and helps things move faster. Making it a habit to include 1 or 2 fiber-rich foods in every meal is one of the easiest ways to transform digestion. Over time, this practice rebuilds the gut environment, fosters healthy bacteria, and restores regularity. But food isn't just fuel, it's communication. Each bite you take tells your gut bacteria what to grow and what to diminish. If you feed them sugar, fried foods, and processed snacks, you're training harmful bacteria to thrive. If you feed them whole, colorful plants, fermented foods, and natural proteins, you're cultivating bacteria that protect, repair, and support digestion. One simple daily habit of adding a probiotic food, like a spoonful of yogurt, a small serving of sauerkraut, or a glass of kefir, can shift the entire ecosystem of your gut. Within weeks, seniors often notice less gas, less bloating, and more energy because their bacteria are finally working for them instead of against them. Another ritual that cannot be overlooked is consistency in sleep. The digestive system is tied deeply to your circadian rhythm, the body's internal clock. When you go to bed and wake up at similar times each day, Your gut learns when to be active and when to rest. Seniors who stay up late, nap irregularly, or eat meals too close to bedtime often struggle with indigestion or constipation. Creating a gentle daily habit of winding down early, turning off screens, and allowing the body to rest at the same time each night restores rhythm not only to sleep, but to digestion itself. The gut loves predictability, and sleep is one of its strongest cues. When you combine these habits, hydration, mindful chewing, post-meal walks, deep breathing, fiber, probiotics, and consistent sleep, you create a powerful rhythm that transforms digestion naturally. None of these require expensive treatments or complicated programs. They simply require awareness and commitment. And once they become part of your daily life, they stop feeling like chores and start feeling like gifts you give yourself. Imagine yourself 6 weeks from now, you wake up and drink your warm lemon water, feeling your gut gently awaken. You enjoy a breakfast of oatmeal with fruit, chewing slowly, breathing deeply, and noticing how calm your body feels. You take a 10-minute walk after lunch, chatting with a neighbor or simply enjoying the fresh air. You include a small serving of fermented food with dinner, sip warm tea before bed, and fall asleep peacefully, knowing your body is working in harmony. Slowly, the discomfort that once seemed inevitable fades into memory. Your gut feels lighter, your mind clearer, your body more energized. This is not a dream. It is the natural result of small, consistent habits practiced with care.